So the first thing we basically talked about was coursework, right? And we kind of came to the conclusion that in high school, our pathway should be a little more flexible and a little less structured and like rigid than it is right now, right? Because everyone has kind of different choices in what classes they want to take, and we feel like those academic classes such as like, you know, AP World or AP US, they should be prioritized obviously, but real life skills class such as like a personal finance class or like somebody mentioned a 21st century skills class, stuff like that should be given the same priority as those academic level classes, right? Because that will actually give the student the ability to choose their classes, and maybe they don't know how to, you know, apply for FAFSA, or they don't know how to make a bank account, right? So that way they will be given the flexibility to take that class and learn what they want to do, right? The second thing we talked about was projects and assessments, right? So it may be okay to have those requirements where you need an English or you need a science or you need a math, right? But how are we actually testing the students? Do you understand this? Do you understand Algebra 2, right? And we agreed that projects and assessments, they should be a mix of standardized tests and real life applications, right? Sitting for Regents for 3 hours and writing down on a paper what you understand from Algebra 2 isn't really gonna help you in the future, right? I'm sure most of us forget everything as soon as we walk out of that room, right? So actually making projects or applying those skills to real life as we're gonna be doing in our career in the future, that'll give us an idea of how that subject is applied, right? Or what the concepts are. And being exposed to that would also give you an idea of what you want to do in the future, right? Because I'm sure even as juniors and seniors, a lot of us don't know what we want to do at all in college or what career we want to go into, right? And we think that would be really helpful.
So adding on to that a little bit, I know one of the examples he gave when we were sitting around talking about is like if you're taking a civil law class, if like the final or if I guess your testing grade was you doing a mock trial with your students, with your classmates. So that could kind of assess what you've learned and then show how you'd be able to apply that in the real world, because using a civil law class, that would kind of lead to like a lawyer type of position. One of the other things we talked about is, building students' ability to form their own opinion. So a lot of times in school, we're just given information and say, this is how you're supposed to use it, but sometimes there are different ways that people think about different things. You may have your own opinion or your own belief about a certain topic, especially in things more like towards English and social studies. They're a lot more subjective. They're not like math and science, but there's always one right answer. So I feel like asking students, what do you think about this? Well, like, how do you feel about this? Is a better gauge of helping students to formulate their own opinions and be able to utilize that in the real world. Okay, sorry. We also talked about being able to have students culturally connect with the things that they read and the things that they're exposed to in the school environment. So the example that I gave is that over the summer we were forced to read Catcher in the Rye, which I don't know if you've ever read it. That book is terrible. I'm sorry. It is absolutely terrible. It's about this guy.
American classic.
It's terrible. He's just rambling about 3 days walking in New York City. It's terrible.
What about The Old Man in the Sea? Is that bad too?
But another book that we were again forced to read over the summer was called Purple Hibiscus. It's a book by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. It's about a young girl living in Nigeria, and I know coming from a school that's predominantly African American and Hispanic, that we connected a lot more with the main character and that we were able to actually enjoy the book. One, because it was modern, it wasn't from like 100 years ago. And two, because it was about people. I'm sorry, I'm being very honest. It was about people who we could actually identify with, and I know that differs greatly from school to school. That's why we need more individualized curriculum so that everybody feels like they're being represented. And it's definitely unfair, because I know I'm a daughter of a teacher, to ask every teacher to individualize their curriculum for 32 different students in one class, or if they have like more students than that. But it is important to make sure that every student feels represented in their curriculum.
I just want to mention one more thing. So the fact that we were talking about the flexibility in people's schedule or their ability to take those classes that are academic and that apply to real life, right? My school actually changed their schedule about a year or 2 years ago, I'm not sure. And basically, I know a lot of schools right now, they do like a whole year of classes, right? But my school actually switched to semester classes. So throughout the year, our classes, our schedule besides AP classes, they're only half-year classes, right? So you're gonna take one class from September to January, and then your schedule is gonna completely change from that to the end of the year. And I feel like that's allowed people to take different classes, right? Let's say you're taking Algebra 2 or Algebra 1, which you have to take a math, right? So that's a requirement. You take that for half the year because your classes are 75 minutes instead of 40 minutes. And the next half of the year, you're able to take like civil law or criminal law or something where you're really interested in, and you can apply that to your future career, right? And I feel like that was really helpful. And in our school, it actually made a difference, and our graduation rates even went up because of that.